Us now from Senate Homeland Security, Senate Budget. He is Senator Ron Johnson. Senator, it's a pleasure seeing you again. So what do you make of the president? He's going to host congressional leaders to try to break the deadlock over Ukraine aid. Talk of a partial government shutdown this Friday. Lawmakers are demanding border security. What's going to happen? What do you think, Senator?
Well, as Senator Tuberville was talking about, is President Biden wants an open border. He caused this problem. The fact of the matter is President Trump, under existing law, was able to secure the border, and then President Biden, using that exact same authority, opened it back up. So President Biden could have had a Ukraine aid package, an Israel aid package, a Taiwan aid package. All he needed to do was agree to secure the border. We didn't ask for an immigration bill that made matters worse. All we asked for was an enforcement mechanism to use the leverage of Ukraine funding to actually force this president to use the authority he has to secure the border. So it's there for the taking. I said at the start of this whole process is we would be doing the president a huge political favor if we forced him to secure the border. Unfortunately, Leader McConnell entered secret negotiations and basically gave Democrats political cover, didn't give America a secure border.
Let's show there were lots of problems with that former Senate border bill. Let's show what was in that the prior Ukraine aid, Israeli aid, and border security package. So there's also that story, but also this. We're hearing, senators are getting really frustrated that the Senate won't move on the impeachment trial of Homeland Security Secretary Mayorkas.
Well, we obviously should hold a trial. It's our constitutional responsibility and duty, but primarily what we need to do is hold the trial to show the public what is happening on the border. You know, I know people like you have been covering this issue, but the mainstream media for years ignored it, covered up for Biden. They only started reporting on this when Mayor Adams, Mayor Johnson of New York and Chicago started saying that their sanctuary cities couldn't handle it, that their illegal flow was going to destroy their cities. So all of a sudden the mainstream media couldn't cover for Biden. The Democrats viewed that as political liability, which is why they went to Leader McConnell to see if they could get some political cover, and unfortunately he gave it to them.
Senator, we got to switch gears if we can for a moment. You know, there's this bill that is going to be debated about the meeting with the president. He is demanding tens of billions of dollars in aid for Ukraine. We had the head of NATO, the Secretary General. We're going to switch gears. The head of NATO is saying yes, Ukraine should join NATO. That would anger even more Russia's Putin. Watch this.
And we are deepening our political ties through the NATO-Ukraine Council, where we consult and make decisions together. Ukraine will join NATO. It is not a question of if, but of when. As we prepare you for that day, NATO will continue to stand with Ukraine for your security and for ours.
What happens if Ukraine joins NATO?
Well, what I've been saying for quite some time now is Vladimir Putin will not lose this war. Losing the war in Ukraine is existential to Vladimir Putin. Russia has 4 times the population of Ukraine. The average age of a Ukrainian soldier is 43 years. They have people in his inner circle say, send us more weapons, we don't have the men to use them. So at some point in time, we're going to have to face reality, and we're going to have to end this war with a negotiated settlement. Our policy should be driving toward bringing Putin to the negotiating table. Saying that we're going to admit Ukraine to NATO is not the way to bring Vladimir Putin to the negotiating table.
Got it. Senator Johnson, thanks for joining us tonight. It's good to see you.
Have a good evening.